Inflation is a silent killer of budgets. A good year reduces your purchasing power by 2% to 3% these days. Inflation is hovering around 8%, and for various countries, it's even higher than 15% or more, a level not seen in about 40 years. As the purchasing power of money declines, prices of everything rise, from groceries to gas prices. But how does this affect you? With inflation on the rise, more people are being affected, but you don't have to sit idly by as your bills continue to rise. Instead, you can take steps and actions you should avoid to help you navigate this time of high inflation for however long it lasts. Number 1. Reduce expenditure. During times of high inflation, prices are naturally on the rise, and your regular groceries and other expenditures will cost much more than they used to cost you every month. That means you need to try to avoid adding costs to your budget and, instead, try to manage what you have. You may avoid some of the uptick in your expenses by reviewing your bills, slashing what you don't need, and attempting to reduce or negotiate the remainder. Examining all of your expenses is a good place to start. We frequently look for the best price when purchasing something, such as insurance, but the price rises over time, and you don't continue to shop around. You cannot fight inflation efficiently if your expenditure is rising. That could easily double your expenditure in a month, since inflation is already doing a lot of increment, and you do not want to be adding to that in any way possible. Number 2. Invest in a diversified portfolio. Investing decades ago was the job of a select few, and it was perceived to be the sport of only the rich, but a lot has changed. You no longer have to walk to the stock exchange or have a broker on your speed dial to make a buy or sell order. All you have to do is know what you're doing. The rise of investing apps like Robinhood and DeGiro have made it easy for everyone, including you, to invest in what stocks you believe in. So, in times of inflation, you can invest in the future instead of saving all your precious money, which will only lose value due to the rising inflation. Investing with a long-term mindset is always a good idea, especially in times of inflation. Businesses can pass on increased business expenses to consumers in the form of rising prices if you invest your money in company stocks or stock mutual funds. As a result, their profit margins are protected from inflation, resulting in stable or even increasing stock prices. You can take advantage of the business advantage in times of inflation by buying a part of such businesses so that you can have a good investment in the future. Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, has long advocated for owning a business that generates high returns on capital invested. During inflationary periods, businesses with low capital needs that can maintain their earnings should fare better than those that must invest more cash at ever higher prices just to maintain their position. ETFs are a good way to start if investing is a new thing to you, but there's a caveat when investing. During periods of inflation, businesses that depend on low interest rates for rapid growth are especially vulnerable. This is so that lending during times of high inflation is discouraged by the Federal Reserve of the United States, which typically raises interest rates. As a result, rising interest rates may be detrimental to startup businesses. If you're looking for promising high-growth companies, make sure their expansion is fueled by constant operating leverage. These companies typically have stable stock prices and are less affected by rising inflation and the resulting interest rate hike. Number 3. Budget everything and avoid cash. Budgeting is a basic, healthy financial habit, but it is much more important during times of inflation when prices are rising in no particular direction but up. Having a carefully created budget will help you save on expenditure since you can look around for the best deals, either online or in physical shops. One good reason to budget is to avoid holding cash. Billionaire investors like Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio are popularly known for saying cash is a pretty bad investment to hold, especially in times of inflation. It pays you nothing, yet keeps taking from your purchasing power. To make sure that you're not keeping cash and spending without recourse, prioritize your spending. In times of inflation, paying less for something you don't need but simply want is not the best way to go. Instead, think about things you need to remove from your budget. Look into your monthly subscriptions, bills, shopping lists, and limit yourself to a spending limit. It is time to give up the nice-to-haves and pay attention to the must-haves. This will help you save a lot of money and open up your account to more investing options. Inflation is a time to invest in the future, so if it means temporary discomfort, you might want to give it a try. Number 4. Attend to debt. Debt. The average person has at least one source of debt. Debt is bad news during inflation. Interest rates are typically increased to keep the economy under control when inflation is extremely high. If you have any debt with a floating or variable rate, you should be aware of the potential effects of higher interest rates on your spending plan and make debt repayment a priority before it gets out of hand. Set a maximum spending limit on your credit cards. This prevents you from excessive spending and stimulates you to plan your daily expenses ahead of time, lowering the interest you pay on your loans. While limiting debt is an option, it isn't the only thing you have to do concerning debt during inflation. Many people put debt repayment at the bottom of their financial priority list, doing so with any money left at the close of the month. Debt repayment, particularly variable debt such as credit cards, lines of credit, personal loans, and variable rate mortgages, should now rank second only to living expenses and far ahead of investing. While there are many ways to invest, if you have a credit card with an interest rate of 16 or 18%, you will not be able to beat that with any investment. Number 5. The employment rate has now almost returned to pre-crisis levels, and many businesses have difficulty hiring. While it may be challenging to increase your pay overnight, employees in today's job market are better positioned to shop their services around or negotiate for higher pay. I've had clients who cited higher inflation as well as their job performance in order to receive a promotion or raise. You can also supplement your income outside of your job. You can sell items you no longer need on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or Craigslist. You could take this an extra step further and consider renting out your belongings to generate regular income. To rent your car, use Turo or Getaround. Rent parking spaces with Spot Hero. Rent your room with Airbnb. Use your free time to make extra money with your car with Uber, Lyft, or Bolt. You can even rent your pool nowadays with Swimply. There are lots of ways to make money in recent times, and these are just a few. The whole make money online industry is full of thriving entrepreneurs and individuals. Time to take some risks, because if you don't take risks in such times, you may end up with nothing. If you're simply looking for a part-time job or an extra job, you have quite a lot of options too. There are also side jobs that have a flexible schedule or can be done from home. Outside of your 9-to-5 job, you can do pet sitting, online tutoring, or driving for a rideshare service. You might be able to find freelance work on sites like Upwork or FlexJobs. Although there aren't always quick or easy ways to increase your income, there are ways to earn extra money to cover more immediate expenses. Number 6. You are your best investment. If you're a doctor, you get paid even during inflation. If you're a lawyer, you still get paid. As a carpenter, you still get a check at the end of the month. You are your best investment. And whatever you do, you should try to be the master at it. That was, people would always find you and pay you good money to do work for them, even during times of inflation. Buffett told shareholders in 2004 that investing in one's own talent is one of the best ways to maintain purchasing power over time. The best doctor or attorney in a city or small town benefits from an education paid with old dollars, but they're not required to further their education to charge current dollars for their services. Consider adding a new skill to your resume by attending a local college or learning a new skill online. Although expensive, advanced degrees can increase your knowledge and make you an invaluable employee in the future. Your ability to demand a fair share of your earnings over time will depend on how valuable you become to your employer and its clients. Beating inflation is not an easy job, but it helps if you know what you're doing. These tips are good to get you started. If you have some sneaky tips that you're using these times, let us know in the comments. We know our viewers will appreciate your fun ideas, so subscribe to Ape Finance and we will see you in the next video.